and welcome to the DIY Photo Organising podcast, focusing on topics to help you with your photo management. I'm Fiona from Photo Helper.
And I'm Chantal from Photos in Order. Hi, Fiona. How are you?
Hey, I'm very, very good, Chantal.
Are you ready for Christmas?
I am. It's always such a great time of the year. I love it.
It is.
How about you?
Yeah, almost. Not quite, but
Not so confident there.
I'm not sure. I'm still like in full work mode.
Or maybe I've just been relaxing too early.
I know we have to tree up, which is a first. It's usually not that early, so we're good.
That's good. That's good.
So,
and what are we talking about today?
Yeah, today, because we're approaching that end of the year very fast now.
I know.
It's incredible how fast
it
the year
is.
went. We thought we would give you, lovely listeners, a few tips about, in connection with the year end and photo management, what could be a few tasks that sort of make sense to do at the end of a year. And we found 5 essential photo management tips for you that we come up with. And some of them will sound very familiar.
It's not the 5 golden rules again.
I know.
Although we did think about that, let's be honest.
yeah, we did. Do you want to start us off with the first tip?
Sure. Okay. So for finishing up for the year, we thought we'll just give you these ideas to finish strong. And even if you haven't started, we know this is almost Christmas time now, like days before Christmas when when you will have released this episode. But the first thing we are suggesting that you do, if you haven't already, is to gather all of your digital photos into one place. Just do a gather and put them all in one place and back it up. Coming into the year, finishing that year strong, an essential tip as our first one really is let's keep those photos safe so we can deal with the sort of, mess later. But at least they're all backed up. That's our absolute number one first priority. Get them all in one place and back them up.
Yes.
And in reality, we do understand that this is a step maybe you haven't taken this year. If you've been listening to us for a while, you will have heard us go on about this, but it's so important. You're obviously here because you care about your photos. And so let's get them backed up and safe. And that is our tip number 1, essential tip: back up. Gather, back up digital photos. All right. Number two, Chantal.
No real surprises there. So
yes.
Once you've got those photos from this year, what we suggest is to dive in and, culling ideally, but what we'd love you to do really is to choose your favorites. Go find the highlights of your year, and whatever tools you have. If you're on an Apple phone or an Apple Photos library, you can simply love heart them. On the Windows, you give them the 5-star rating, or whatever works with the apps that you're using. Just choose a few favorites, the highlights, and also we'd encourage you to write down the most memorable moments of your year. Because it's not only the photos that count, we really also want the stories that go with them. But obviously we don't want to write a whole book. But, pick some, maybe just 5 highlights that you attach a story to, something like that.
Yeah, reflection back on events of the year, or capturing how you felt about something, or even just some of the lessons that you've really, been grateful for the year. Yeah. And pick a few photos that might go with that. Yeah, just to do a bit of a summary. It's a really good time of the year to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so what's next up?
Which leads us to this year in review. So we would say as our tip number 3 is make some kind of a project item. This could be a slideshow, maybe a photo book, even just print out some photos, but just put something together that you can reflect back on and share with others.
Yeah.
So we're going to call that a year in review. It doesn't have to be like a 300-page photo book with, documenting every single, thing that happened. But I mean, if you can, brilliant. But, well, let's face it, if you've been listening to us, you're so organized because we've taught so many great tips. So let's just get real. No, seriously, it would be lovely just to have that as a, if you haven't done that already, just make that as one of your things that you can wrap up at the end of this year.
Yeah.
Some kind of a year in review with your photos. So that's number 3.
I love to do that because it sort of shows, we're going through COVID times, especially at the moment still, and it's like a lot of negativity around. But when you do these sort of projects, I always find it brings out so much to be grateful for, and it the positivity comes back. So I love
and
that.
even in those times, I think too, Chantel, where if people have had a hardship in the year, I really do believe that there is opportunities to find gratitude even in difficult times. And so, it is a time and an opportunity to reflect back even on those situations as well.
Yeah.
And like we've said in an episode before, even if you don't have a photo that is going to bring you memories of that difficult time in a positive way, to maybe replace that with some kind of a photo that you can. So if you've captured that moment or that event or something that has happened this year, replace it, find something beautiful to you and put that in your photo collection for this year.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, number 4.
It might be a difficult one, and this is one that's more for the Australian listeners or those in the Southern Hemisphere that actually finished the school year also now in December. Maybe not so much for the US listeners, but you can still do it. It might still be a good time of the year to do that, and it's decluttering and digitizing your children's artwork. Here in Australia, where the school year ends, they come home with a portfolio of the whole year of artwork they did at school, and especially primary school kids or preschool age, they produce tons of artwork. So what to do with it? We would encourage you to not keep every little scrap of paper, but to first declutter a bit, and then why not digitize it? If they're like flat artwork like drawings and paintings, you might be able to scan them on a flatbed scanner or on whatever you have, or you just simply take a picture. And if you've listened to us, that we're not really big proponents of scanning using your phone, but sometimes we got to work with what we have, and I've done it myself. And for a drawing or a little painting of my kids, the phone might be enough. You don't have to invest thousands to have it digitized necessarily, but it's a good time of the year to go through these things and to digitize, and possibly even create a little photo book or a calendar or something, to showcase it, so that you can still see it.
Exactly. Fabulous. All right, so the last one, number 5, this is our I feel like we should have a drum roll. The 5th essential tip for this year is it's coming back to your why, but really know what it is that you really want to do with your photos, and get together and just think about a plan. Get really intentional, and get a clear picture of what it is that you would like to do next, even if it's just that next step. Also, it could be, okay, this time of the month or that time of the week, I'm going to allocate time. Just really be intentional and clear about what it is that you want to do moving forward for the new year. With your photos, and is the big step for the next year to just get rid of all those duplicates, or is the big step to, really scan those old memories. And that's a really important thing for you. And if that's your plan, and be intentional and clear, and then just get to it and get the things done that you really want to get done. Put some things in place to make that happen. So our number 5 really is find out why and what it is you really want to do with your photos, and make a plan to make it happen.
Very good.
And that's it.
That's it.
Absolutely.
Short and sweet.
Yeah. So this is when we can say a big Merry Christmas to our beautiful listeners from all over the world.
We can. And also, before we do go, check out the show notes, because there's a whole heap of episodes that you can refer to.
Yes.
About
each of those tips.
About each of the tips. We touched on so many different topics there.
Yes.
Obviously, there's much more to that. So check out the links to those different episodes, and there might be a few that you find helpful to get started or inspired. So yeah,
exactly. Yeah, wonderful. So I would like to take this opportunity to thank you, Chantel. Thank you for a great year that we have had. It's so much fun doing these podcasts together, and I think hopefully our listeners will hear just our genuine passion for just helping others with their photos, no matter where they're at on their photo journey. And it's great to be able to come on this journey in this podcast world with you. So a very big, huge happy birthday, Merry Christmas to you and your family, and to all of our lovely listeners from me and my family. Merry Christmas too.
What can I say? You've said it all. Fiona, look, I can just say, likewise, and a Merry Christmas to you too, of course. And it's been such a great year. And as you say, we're having so much fun creating those episodes for you listeners. And, we always love getting your questions and to interact with you. And we get little notes and reviews here and there. And it's so heartwarming. This is why we do, not for the response and for the feedback. That's not the reason we do it. We do it because we want to help you and empower you to look after your photos and to enjoy those photos. That bringing back such precious memories. And it's been, we keep going.
Absolutely.
We're not going anywhere. And I really look forward to that, Fiona, to keep working with you. And it's been so good.
It's great. Wonderful.
So Merry Christmas to everyone.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. So as always, head over and send us a message or any feedback. We'd love to hear from you. And if you want to go deeper with some courses or learning over the break, if you're having a break, just pop over to our courses page on the website. But as always, it's lovely having you on this journey with us. So I am Fiona from Photo Helper.
And I am Chantel from Photos in Order. Thanks for tuning in as always. And again, a very Merry Christmas to you all.
Bye.
Bye.